Happy Halloween.
Welcome to another episode of Erik Wait Whiskey Studies, and in this video I'm going to do a review of the Sexton Irish Single Malt. Now, this is a really interesting bottle. I like the design of it, very fancy, sort of stands out. So when you could actually use as sort of a decorative piece, put on the table, coffee table, something like that, apart from your whiskey collection. But a little challenge is, when you go to pour in your glass, you're going to want to put it right up to the glass like this and pour like this, because this thing wants to dribble. Normally, normal whiskey bottles, you kind of pour them like this. Not this one. It's going to run down the glass and get all over the table. And I've heard similar comments by several other reviewers. Having said that, I actually kind of like the whiskey. It takes a little bit of while to open up. And I think it's a really great value play. But before I give you my full review, here are the notes. So you may be wondering, what is a sexton, other than perhaps someone who gets a ton of sex? A sexton is an officer of a church charged with the maintenance of its buildings and or the surrounding graveyard, which I think fits in with our Halloween theme. It is the creation of master blender Alex Thomas, distilled in Northern Ireland's County Antrim from the same location and brand ownership as Bushmills, bottled by Proximo Spirits, which is owned by Cuervo of Mexico. It is made from 100% Irish malted barley. It is triple distilled, then aged in Oloroso sherry casks. It's bottled at 40% alcohol by volume and sells for about $27 in my neighborhood. Now, I think they really are trying to do a value play, something that's really affordable, something that's really hip, and that's sort of the audience that, or the consumer they're going for, not necessarily the super serious, whiskey consumer. And I think they're doing a really good job of it. So on the nose, I get fig, dates, raisins, and there's dried black fruit notes that you get from the sherry cask. I get a little bit of a nuttiness character, probably coming from the oxidative notes of a sherry. There is a little bit of youth showing there, although it doesn't have the greenness of a new make. Just on the nose, I'd say it's probably about 3 to 4 years old. Get a little bit of vanilla, cinnamon, lots of cinnamon, a little bit of ginger, a little bit of apple pie, lighter caramels, and there is sort of a toasted marshmallow or sort of slightly burnt sugar character to it. All right, on the palate. One more. What you get up front, in the middle, and in the finish is pretty much the same. There's not a whole lot of evolution, not much of a ride. The mouthfeel is actually, I think, a little on the thin side, hence the 40 ABV. But what is there is nice. Dried black fruit notes, dried figs, dates, raisins. There's quite an intense cinnamon character, a little bit of ginger, some apple pie characteristics. Vanilla sort of kicks in around the middle, and lighter caramels. And there is that sort of confectionery, sort of toasted marshmallow, sort of slightly burnt sugar kind of character to it. It also has a little bit of, let's say, peach and apricot, almost like a peach cobbler and apricot. So it doesn't have a huge evolution, but what is there, I like. I like it on ice. I like it neat. It doesn't change a whole lot if you put it on, drops of water, so it doesn't open up anymore. But it's just a good, basic, solid, sherry-forward tasting whiskey. There's a little bit of that malty character that shows up on the back end, which I like that. I like that sort of resonating malty character on the back end, so that as I'm talking now, the maltiness actually shows up more, because the sherry and everything else is so intense that the maltiness, up front and in the middle sort of gets covered up. The maltiness shows up on the back end, and I kind of like that as well. Price-wise, $27, at least in my neighborhood. spot on, something under $30, of course, plus tax. So readily available, see it all over the place in local whiskey shops and so forth. So, thumbs up on that. What I'm going to give it in terms of score, I'm going to go solid 87 points. 87 points. But the point score has to be taken into consideration with the quality price ratio. If this was a $40 plus whiskey, I would not be as thrilled about it. I would be I would be a lot more standoffish about it, because where I would want to lean towards is actually the Bushmills Black Bush. I really, really like this whiskey. I get this for about $28. So these are price-wise and value play. These are tough competitors. And score-wise, this one I would say edges out just a little bit of the Sexton. Just a little bit, but I think they're both excellent whiskeys. If you're looking for budget, sherified whiskeys under $30, both of these are an excellent play. All right, if you like watching my videos and yet you have not yet subscribed, I'm gonna ask that you subscribe, ring the bell to be notified when I go live or post a new video. And I'm gonna say for this, trick or treat, I'm gonna go, it's definitely a treat. If you are one of my patrons, I wanna thank you very much for joining my little group. And to all of you, have a safe and happy Halloween.